Hi everyone! Today, we're going to visually explore a pattern on how to factor completely a type of polynomial, which is the difference of two squares. So by definition, when you have a binomial of the form x squared minus y squared, then we can factor it as x plus y times x minus y, which is a sum and difference of two terms. How do we know if the given binomial is a difference of two squares? The difference of two squares is one of the most common. The good news is, this is very easy to identify. That is, the first term and the last term, and the values of the variables are perfect squares, which means they're having an exponent of 2 or any even number. And the sign in between them is a minus sign. So if you have a binomial of the form x squared minus y squared, then we can factor it as x plus y times x minus y. So using this general definition, let's see why that actually works out. So we can check this out by using the FOIL method. So FOIL means multiplying the first terms, the outer terms, the inner terms, and the last terms. So we have x times x equals x squared. X times negative y equals negative xy. Y times x equals positive xy. And y times negative y equals negative y squared. So our middle terms are negative xy plus positive xy. So we simply subtract them or cancel them out. So what's left is x squared minus y squared, which is a difference of two squares. So again, this is what we started with. By the way, what is a perfect square? So a perfect square is a number that can be expressed as the product of two equal integers. Example, 4. 4 is a perfect square because we can express it as 2 times 2, which is equal to 2 squared. 49 is also a perfect square because we can express this as 7 times 7 or 7 squared. 25 is also a perfect square because we can express this as 5 times 5, which is equal to 5 squared. X squared is also a perfect square because we can express this as x times x or x raised to 1 plus 1, which is equal to x squared. Another example is 36x to the 8. 36 can be expressed as 6 times 6, and x to the 8 can be expressed as x to the 4 times x to the 4. Therefore, we have 6x to the 4th times 6x to the 4th, or the quantity 6x to the 4th squared. Another example is 9 over 16x squared. 9 can be expressed as 3 times 3, 16 as 4 times 4, and x squared as x times x. So we have 3/4 x times 3/4 x, which is equal to the quantity 3/4 x squared. How do you factor the difference of two squares? Step number 1, find the square root of the first term and the last term. So, what is the square root of a number? So, square root is a value that when multiplied by itself gives the number. So, say for example, we're getting the square root of 4. So, the answer is 2 because 2 times 2 is equal to 4. Another example is the square root of 49. The answer is 7 because 7 times 7 is equal to 49. Another example is to get the square root of 25. The answer is 5 because 5 times 5 is equal to 25. Another example is to find the square root of y to the 6. The answer is y cubed because y cubed times y cubed is equal to y raised to 3 plus 3 is equal to y to the 6. Another example is the square root of 36x squared. The answer is 6x because 6x times 6x is equal to 36x squared. So, just think of a number which when multiplied by itself will give the number. So finding the square root of a number is simply the opposite of squaring a number. So what is the second step in factoring the difference of two squares? So, write their factors. How do we write the factors? Write the product of the sum and difference of the square roots of the first and last terms. Let's try example number 1. We're going to get the factors of x squared minus 16. So, we're going to get the square root of x squared. So, we have x, since x times x is equal to x squared. Then, we're going to get the square root of 16, which is 4, because 4 times 4 is equal to 16. Writing the answer as the sum and difference of two terms, so we have x plus 4 times x minus 4, and that is the final answer. Example number 2. We're going to get the factors of 4x squared minus 36y squared. So get the square root of 4x squared. So the square root of 4 is 2. The square root of x squared is x. So we have 2x. Since 2x times 2x is equal to 4x squared. Then get the square root of 36y squared. So the square root of 36 is 6. The square root of y squared is y. So we have 6y. Since 6y times 6y is equal to 36y squared. And writing the final answer as a sum and difference of two terms, we have 2x plus 6y times 2x minus 6y. Example number 3. We're going to get the factors of a squared, b squared minus 81. So we're going to get the square root of a squared, b squared. So the square root of a squared is a, the square root of b squared is b. So we have ab. Since ab times ab is equal to a squared, b squared. Then get the square root of 81. That is 9, since 9 times 9 equals 81. So, writing the final answer as a sum and difference of two terms, we have ab plus 9 times ab minus 9. Let's try example number 4. So, we're going to find the factors of 9 over 16a to the 6 minus 25 over 81n squared. So, first, we're going to get the square root of 9 over 16a to the 6. So, the square root of 9 is 3, the square root of 16 is 4, the square root of a to the 6 is a cubed. So, we have 3/4 a cubed. Since 3/4 a cubed times 3/4 a cubed is equal to 9 over 16a to the 6. Then, get the square root of the second term. So, the square root of 25 is 5, the square root of 81 is 9, the square root of n squared is n. So, we have 5 over 9n. Since 5 over 9n times 5 over 9n equals 25 over 81 n squared. And writing the answer as a sum and difference of two terms, so we have 3/4 a cubed plus 5 over 9n times 3/4 a cubed minus 5 over 9n. And that's all about factoring the difference of two squares. So the most important thing to remember here is to identify the given binomial as a difference of two squares, and then just apply the pattern in finding the correct factors, and you're done. So are you ready for a challenge? Okay, let's see. So what are the factors of 4x squared minus 36? And the correct answer is 2x plus 6 times 2x minus 6, and you are correct. Another. So what are the factors of 16a to the 6 minus 25b squared? So the final answer is 4a cubed plus 5b times 4a cubed minus 5b. And you are correct. Another. So what are the factors of 4 over 81r to the 4th minus 9 over 64 n to the 8th? So the final answer is 2 over 9r squared plus 3 over 8n to the 4th times 2 over 9r squared minus 3 over 8n to the 4th, and you are correct. Well, that's all for today. I hope you learned something. So if you did, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.